Treat them right. Treat them right.
Moors are here to uplift the nation that's fallen. Instead of buying strip clubs, continuing or falling. Most sisters I know got baby daddy drama. Beating on the mother and he's the grand master. No patriarch or pimpin', you're the god of the earth. He calls it a man bag, I call it what it is, a purse. Making claims of strength but can't give birth. Walk into the womb through the doors of the church or temple or tabernacle. They all represent her. The story of the first female popes is a blur, not to mention the women saviors rule from both thrones. His and her throne was her own, as Ma'at holds the scales with no Tahuti. Though he was a sage scribe, he was her worker bee. See the big picture. Tahuti is thought, which represents thought. Divine manifests in mind molds the thought. Get the mind out the gutter like you gotta treat the mothers right. Get your mind out the gutter like you gotta treat our brothers right. Get your mind out the gutter like we gotta treat the mothers right. Get your mind out the gutter like we gotta treat our brothers right. Mind is man, but women first like we were taught in ancient schools, which were the wombs, even to the tomb, the afterlife womb. Born again on another realm or back for more truth about our culture as Moors, more by Ruth. See how far they spread, how deep the roots shoot. Get off the emotions, fire water potions. Get the shea butter, my sister, not Jergens lotion. Stop justifying BS, blaming racism. Biz Kane and G-Rap already erased racism. Go back to Diplo Underground, Tupac, or X-Clan and Fezzes leather that you call it a hat. Go back to medallion strings with beads. Golden era back to question so-called MCs. Pins and smooth operates Asiatic kings. On a gold throne, four-finger tourmaline rings. Get your mind out the gutter like you gotta treat the mothers right. Get your mind out the gutter like you gotta treat our brothers right. Get your mind out the gutter like you gotta treat the mothers right. Get your mind out the gutter like you gotta treat our brothers right. Using verse curses, send out orishas, return like boomerangs, demons drop in with seizures, calling for sweet Jesus. Here comes Nagas Negus, black handle hex on those trying to police us. Reverse a spell with white candles, witches clothed as cashiers, behind bars, sexual energy exchange for beers. And she's getting tips with help from whispering spirits. 285 hertz beats, hypnotized sound spell with lyrics. So zooped out the man can't hear but fear it. When the truth appears, they won't go near it. Songs are like Reiki, blockages they clear it. So focus on point and diligent, freedom above everything, mind's militant. Like wow, moment eureka when I speak to a sleeper. Make a master fruition and stop being believers. Get the mind out the gutter like you gotta treat the mothers right. Get your mind out the gutter like we gotta treat our brothers right. Get your mind out the gutter like we gotta treat the mothers right. Get your mind out the gutter like we gotta treat our brothers right.
Treat right, yeah. Treat right.
Circle 7, y'all.
Treat right. Treat right. Treat right.
You sat down and you attacked the master teacher because you thought you heard something that you didn't hear. That's the first violation. You don't come in. First of all, you come in and you act like you come in peace, but you don't. You got an agenda.
Moors are men upright, independent and fearless. Dogmatized dirty Moors, tongues cut out left earless, cause they never listen. Dirty Moors, keep up your slander. Wu-Tang torture in your ass, hot hangers. Kidnappers, dirty Moor, torture him like Saw. 3D, 0.5 or 1 through 4. Or get it like 5 or 6 with a fez on jigsaw. Leather face in a turban, ripped dirty dirty Moors lips off, disrespecting the mother rise Mariah Bay. Wrap them up like double crochet, the bar by away. Throw them off a bridge or feed them to the piranhas. Yellow journalists Moors spread nothing but propaganda. Idi Amin Bay, treat the temple like Uganda. Dirty Moors like foreigners, crush the dust like ganja. Not worthy of being Moors, we call them dirty Nehesus. Solomon Seal spell command 72 demons to get you.
This is what the temple guys actually said. That Canaanland is not a part of North America. Canaanland is bigger. Yo, it's ignorant, man. I mean, come on, you're talking about the same landmass. Canaanland is actually bigger than the landmass they know is the corporate United States. Almost twice as big. And if they had any sense, they can just go to Google and they can type in North America and find out North America goes all the way up to Greenland. But they're ignorant. They don't want to do that. They just dealing off emotions.
You might hear horse voices, see frog faces, and hoots for feet. Demons we run with, spit fire with gold wolf teeth. Keep playing, forget back teeth. Demons are an issue, get into. Maybe a dream visit from Vishnu, a nightmare to never end and always continue. Cold as an igloo, dealing with my trust issues through vigilance. Active Moors are militants, SPLC dirty Moors call that sovereign citizen. Lions reviews, they notice all the empty pews. Benz need gas and fixing, but not enough dues. Pigpen Bays sell you off for peanuts, claiming that we nuts for teaching birthright street level, keeping it beat nuts.
To any members of the MFTA that's out there listening to what I'm saying, please get it through your head. I don't have a problem with the MFTA. I got issues with
Kendrick Lamar, stay surrounded by pheasants. Dirty's guilty of fraud if duly scrutinize their ledgers. Getting proclamations from Morocco, disrespect us. Corporate city only recognize people's court jesters. Handed they back, Moorish puppets and minions. Never get the human rights recognition like Moors near Virginia. Commonwealth, for active Moors knowledge, the Commonwealth. Dirty's claim more, but really on the straw man help. Authenticating a birth certificate, that's not significant. Civil little more two status syndicates. In more face, watch them two more status Indians claiming Turtle Island. Our lions, so intricate.
long days and long nights. But this message needed to be heard.
Yeah. You know how we seek that higher knowledge. Only the ignorant can't relate. We just kill them with love instead of hate. That's what it's about.
We are Moors.
Shout out to the Grand Sheikh, Cujo L, Iron Sheikh. Yeah.
We are Moors. Heard what I said? Circle 7 snap back, not just affairs. We are Moors. You heard what I said? Blue, white, green flags, not just red. We are Moors. Heard what I said? Keep talking reckless and move these for your head. We are Moors. You heard what I said? The slave named Chris and have a Moor head. We are Moors.
20 Moors rockin', you could call them Moroccans. Great Seal West adepts, let's get it poppin'. Got a problem with my sheep, got a problem with me. I be on the front line rolling 23 deep. I be studying for hours, 7 days a week, working on my higher self, cause the devil don't sleep. Big ups to Cujo L, that's the Iron Sheik. 7's up, facing the east, praising Allah. Astrology, cosmology, that's the real law. I slow roast ya, master the flame like Zoe Roaster. The rise of the new Moors, old heads move over. That Kundalini energy rising up like a cobra. This is training day, mount up with real soldiers. Elevate beyond the hate and claim your lost estate. The only reason you hate is you too blind to relate. The only reason you hate is you too blind to relate.
We are Moors. Heard what I said? Circle 7 snap back, not just affairs. We are Moors. You heard what I said? I don't rock a hat, just a turban, no affairs. We are Moors. Heard what I said? Keep talking reckless and move these for your head. We are Moors. You heard what I said? The slave named Chris might have a more head. Stop talking crazy. You can't be everything but Moors. That's like willing to stay minority and not mature. Therefore, Tosh to be they taught the world don't respect y'all. However, since you wanna be it, you go down when they fall. They, the ones you call government, that's really a corpse. Black man means funeral director, should make sense of course. Music is the food. And the message, the medicine. Mumble food is poison. I'm with the golden era veterans like Mob D, condolences, QB, RIP Prodigy, who studied the history of the Moors and etymology. You missed the Corsica headband disguised as a bandana. Moorish MC, the real Moroccan, not a French Montana. Kendrick Lamar, you Sarahite, trust me, Hebrew's a language. Lupe put Moors in his video, made the point vantage. Yassine Bey knows Sabir, Bey knows Moorish Master MC. Frupan Bey and Daddy IU are on some Moorish degrees. Spraga and Wood, you know, they even killed Peter because of Macintosh. Still visit the other planets, hip-hop astronauts. Milky Way flow, raise of tassels, blind unbelievers. To higher the other senses, to still pick up the frequency. Pick your addiction. Self-know, to go platinum now, you gotta give up more plus a soul. Watch Professor build pyramids, I watch Shanghai. Cause Nori said Drew Ali on a track. Also, produce the War Report album. Aboriginal Super Cat taught me how to hang and scalp them. Operating your feathers like I said to do. Initiate invasions, activate at doors every scoop. We are Moors. Heard what I said? Circle 7 snapback, not just affairs. We are Moors. You heard what I said? Blue, white, green flares, not just red. We are Moors. Heard what I said? Keep talking reckless and move these for your head. We are Moors. You heard what I said? The slave named Chris might have a more head. We are Moors. We are Moors. Heard what I said? We are Moors. Heard what I said? Heard what I said? We are Moors. We are Moors.
This is our Moors. Peace and love. Tuesday, Canaanland Moors class. We just wanted to put something else on the record, just so, you know, just in case. Just in case.
It's your boy Jermaine Farmer, one of the staff engineers for Daddy's House Recording Studio, Bad Boy Entertainment's own, and I will be in the building November 21st, Newark, New Jersey, Allure Lounge. It's the second annual Battle of the... It's your boy Jermaine Farmer, one of the staff engineers for Daddy's House Recording Studio, Bad Boy Entertainment's own, and I will be...
Now, everybody knows Puffy's funny. Fabulous knows. Fabulous knows Puffy's funny. 50 knows Puffy's funny. So how's an ex Daddy's House engineer or whatever, Puffy's Playhouse guy, talking BS about the mothers? How are you talking BS about the mothers? Now we know what the problem is. Now we know what the problem is. Because we know Puff touch people, especially little clean-faced boys. Because, you know, Puffy has his type. Puffy has his type. So keep in mind, check these Moors. People who say that they're L's and B's and stuff like that, check their background. You better check their background. Have these people play you out of your birthright, listening to them when they're Daddy's House boys. Daddy's House boys talking BS about the mothers? How is a daddy's. How? This guy used to run with Bad Boy. Bad Boy killed Biggie and all that stuff. And you repping that? That's what you used to be repping? You know what side you're on. We're very clear, Mr. Daddy's house. Take that, take that. Puffy was in that ass. That's why you're talking BS. That's why you're talking BS. Now you're the conscious Moorish guru guy and everybody's supposed to follow you when 2013 you're with Puffy? The hell out of here. Get the hell out of here. And on that note, he shall be getting no more. That's it. He can make all the videos he wants from now on. Now we're officially done because we don't deal with the fudge packer stuff. We don't deal with Puffy Daddy's house boys. That's not my stuff. I don't go there. I don't go there. That's your vibes. That's what you're on. Ex-Puffy guy talking BS. And this, no wonder you're dissing the mothers, because you're a fudge packer. That's why. Homoerotic. Right? How much cheesecakes did Puffy send you to go buy? Minion boy. And we want to actually get the numbers. Let us know how much cheesecakes Puff made you go buy. Because everybody's seen the show and everybody knows how this guy gets down. Cheesecake Daddy's house boy. Talking BS about the mothers. Talking BS about RV Bay Publications. You know who RV Bay Publications is? We know who you are now. Now we know who you are. Now we know why you're mad, why you're angry. Don't get mad at the mothers. Don't get mad at active Moors. Go get mad at Puffy. He's the one that touched you. Puffy's the one that touched you. Why are you mad at everybody but Puffy? Still have the video up online. You're not even with them no more, but you still got the video up that you're ex-bad boy? And everybody knows. Ask Fabulous. Ask Fabulous what do you think about Puffy. Go ask Nori. Nori had him on there. Ask them what they think. Matter of fact, ask 50. Since you're in the entertainment, you're a bad boy, Daddy's house boy. Go ask 50 Cent. So carry on, Daddy's house. Daddy's house, carry on. No wonder you have no name. I would hide my name too if Puff touched me. I would definitely hide. No name, big guy. So we haven't checked the email in a little while. Right? In the Moreno Bay voice. Give up the ass. Freaking cheesecake. Mr. Cheesecake. That's how you guys get played all the time. You don't shut the hell up. You keep digging your own grave. Well, your grave's dug. You're in it. And we're patting down the sand right now. So have a good life. So this one's for all the Black Panther Negroes out there who just gave Disney $250 gazillion for a BS movie. Movie sucks. So stop it. Stop the decoding, the Black Panther and all that BS. Move us some BS. All right? Go look up the article. Is being black a disability? LibertyNation.com. Is being black a disability? This is how they think about y'all. A Fordham law professor has taken identity politics to a whole new level. Oh, so there's politics with identity? Identity has its own politics. Not to go vote for somebody. politics, not that politics. You understand why we say that we're Moors and we're specific? Because everybody in the world knows that people who classify it as black and all that stuff, they're a fraud. People who don't do their research to recognize the code. Let's decode Black Panther. Let's decode Black Panther. Islam to all the Europeans, the 2 Europeans in Black Panther that did the most revealing. You guys looking at these Asiatics or whatever, when they're just props. So the first arms smuggler guy, right? He told all these people, 256 million of people, he told them, hey, you know what? The secret name for Wakanda is El Dorado. And everybody thought, this is a line in the movie. Oh, actually go look up El Dorado. And you find out that's Moors in Colombia. As soon as you put up El Dorado, city of gold, see what comes up. No black stuff though, right? And then pull up Muisca, Muisca people. Muisca people of Colombia. Oh, you see feathers on them, right? All right. How's this European? He's not relating Wakanda to from some other planet stuff or whatever. He said he brought them over on this side. Why did he bring them over here? Because of El Dorado. How come the black power whoever's aren't telling you about El Dorado? Canaanite and all that stuff. But on this side, you don't get it. Don't get it that Marv L is trying to tell y'all that you're Moors and that you had a super continental civilization. You really think that now, and then keep in mind, remember that Killmonger, whatever his name is, he was the Negroes in America, right? He was the African that got taken out of his own land or whatever. I remember he did the pull the lips down and then he had the stuff. So he's from where that's at, but then he brought over here, then he's mad, right? Because, you know, these guys have all this stuff and then Negroes are suffering all over the world, but they don't want to help. I thought they're supposed to be the good guys. I thought Black Panther's supposed to be the good guys. How come Black Panther guys are letting their people suffer all over the world when they have all the resources that can fix the world? So Wakanda has all the resources to fix the world. The world's in turmoil, and Wakanda, their life, turn their back on the world and do their own stuff. Doesn't that sound like the elite to you? Doesn't that sound like the people who are in control right now? But they're not going to get mad when they put the elite in blackface, right? And put that in the movie, that they're going to go put all this finance to go whatever. M-U-I-S-C-A, M-U-I-S-C-A, Muisca, something like that. It sounds very close to the elite. You know, and then you check Killmonger, and then, you know, he has daddy issues and stuff, just like Negroes in America or whatever. Always mad, angry, you know. You think they're playing around with y'all? Don't forget, that's Disney. And then don't forget the official trailer when they showed T'Challa, the black guy who's for the Wakandan Black Nation or whatever like that at the UN, like a good Negro. Now, if this is supposed to be a superhero movie for our people to be, okay, hold on a second. Let's see if I find something. Let's just check something. Yeah. Where that is right now. So remember that the fiction is Wakanda. The actual factual is South America. The illusion, remember the illusion, make you think that G.I. Joe are the good guys. They're not the good guys. Cobra is actually the good guys. Because they realize that these imperialists are trying to take over the world. Same thing that Killmonger found out, that his own was enslaving the world. And then when we look at it from that perspective of him realizing that his own is selling out or is enslaving the world, look at what's going on today. All these different races have pants off their ass, listening to this BS, calling it music when it's really not really music and all that. It's not what it appears to be. Don't get caught up. Like we said, why would this European be the one to bring up El Dorado? And then everybody's looking at some fake Wakandans as, oh yeah, that's our people, the culture of the whatever. How about go check out the ritual that these people used to do over there, right? That they said Wakanda and all that stuff, you know, and then in the beginning they showed an asteroid and then it went to a certain part in Africa and all that. Okay, so they're dealing with over there. How come the ritual for the ruler of Muishka is to get mud put on him and then get gold shavings put on him and then push him out into the middle of this big lake, have him, now this is all what they're doing for the ancestors, have him jump into the stuff, right? Now remember, to The Muishka people, to the Muishka people, gold was their vibranium. Gold was their vibranium. And all these $250 million worth of people went to go see this, and none of them came out with knowledge of self, of who they really are. They got caught up in some comic strip stuff. Black Panther's a comic strip. It's not real. Captain America, Hulk, all that stuff is not real. It's a comic strip. But those comics have an actual reality. You know, just like Magneto is Malcolm X. Just go ask the creators of X-Men. They'll tell you. And then everybody caught up on looking at Magneto when they should be studying what Malcolm was about. That's what X-Men was teaching you. Yeah. Lionel said, "Oh," and then he had the sword and everything looked cool, but really he was opening his third eye. There's no sword and stuff like that. What are you talking about sword? It's a cartoon. What's the reality of this? What's the reality? We always get caught up looking at the fiction. Still, even with knowledge, looking at the fiction. Is black a disability? For all the $250 million spender people who want to know how come we don't have our own stuff, but you're going to go give Disney $250 million? And the movie sucked. Like, the movie sucked. There was parts where you saw Black Panther stuff and it looked like computer generated stuff. Stop the BS. Sucked. Didn't completely suck, but it sucked. For the point that it was trying to make, it sucked. It was a good movie, but the point of this being used for the black people to see that they got superheroes and they can be somebody and all that stuff, forget that BS. You're computer generated Negroes. You're not real anything. Real what? And again, putting it out there that they told you El Dorado, which was supposed to let you know, oh, it's not about this. Oh, but you think just a movie, so forget El Dorado. Let's talk about Black Panther. Okay, but that's a movie too. So you can tell me every single comic book that he was in since 1960s or whatever, but El Dorado, you want nothing to do with that. When they gave up the key, just go look up the Muishka people. You're gonna see they had fezzes on. All their gold little stuff that they made, fezzes on, big lips on them and all that. Over here. Not over there. Over here. In the Americas, where you're from, Negro. Even Disney trying to tell you, you're caught up in some movie. You could have watched this shit on the goddamn Cody box. 250 million? On top of that, how much ever funds you're giving to the sneaker people. On top of that, the hair people. On top of that, oh, don't forget the church. No, and don't forget the liquor people. Oh yeah, and now the dispensary people are also added to the list that you're going to be giving 80 billion a year to them, but you're broke. You got conditions. People gentrifying you. We're getting denationalized. We're this and that, complaining, but you got finance to go watch some BS. And then you're not even coming out and saying that it's BS. You guys are justifying it because it's the black movie. Because it's the black movie? The X-Men, when they went back into time, is better than Black Panther. Way better. kills Black Panther. Storyline, cast, all that. One thing though, I will add, again, that they're trying to let you know stuff and you're getting caught up in BS. That T'Challa's little sister was Q from James Bond. The brain of the whole operation. The little Angela Bassett and all that BS. The little sister was the brain of the whole operation because she was the mad scientist that made everything work. And what Drew Ali say? You're younger than born. They be telling people stuff. But only if you study would you know. Not going to know. You don't study. Right? Moore brought up another one, Black Lightning. Now, if you watch Black Lightning, when he goes like this, white stuff comes out of his hands. When he goes like this, stuff comes out of his hands, but it's not dark. It's black. The stuff that he shoots is black. You think that's him. It's not him. You don't get that these people are playing you? Moor's been for you. You don't want to hear what Moore is saying. You're going to go listen to dirty Moors. You're going to go listen to black conscious guys. You're going to go listen to all the other people. But when sincere, honest Moors just try to wake their people up, people go nuts, lose their mind. Lose their mind. You know what the real Black Panther is? The real one. This is the real, our Galactic Federation, whatever, all that stuff there, and we have superpowers and all that. This is the real one of that. Trust me that this is the real Black Panther movie. This is the real script. Keep letting them play you. Just like you remember The Matrix, it was somebody else's stuff. And you think that what they got going on is something? No. You always check the origin. Always check the foundation. Because, like the Dogon told us, we are not here people. But if we are here people, we're the indigenous Aboriginal people of everywhere. And again, you know what I mean? Ain't nothing to go, go to a movie, go see a movie or whatever like that. You know what I mean? If you handle your affairs and all that stuff, but if you got $5 grand in child support and all that stuff, talking about you're going to go see some Black Panther, you got issues. You got serious issues. Very serious issues. And you need to get looked into as soon as possible. For the black guys again. Theodore Draper. For Drew Ali, a change of name was apparently thaumaturgic. white Europeans had subjugated the Moorish Americans, whose color he taught was olive, not black, by calling them Negroes, colored, black, or Ethiopian. By casting off these names in favor of Moorish American, they could regain their true identity and freedom. Thus, Juali provided American Negroes with a new national origin that made them part of a far-flung Moorish nation that had somehow made its way to North America. Don't forget our people, El Dorado, that wear fezzes and turbans and kufis. Just go check all their stuff that they left for you to see that you've been over here. You're playing around that you're from Wakanda. You're from over here. And Wakanda is the elite. They don't care about you. You see they left you guys starving? Left you guys in BS while they sat in the lap of luxury with their sacred heart herb and all that type of stuff. They give them heart herb and give it to the world so the world could be cured of everything. But nah, they didn't do that. They didn't do that. They hogged. They hogged. They hoarded. Remember, first principle for Moors is love. Then they relate love to hearts. And then Wakanda's sacred plant was a heart-shaped herb. Think they're not trying to tell you something? You think they're not trying to drop keys? But our people don't want keys. This new nationality to Juali's teachings and influence. Before you can have a god, you must have a nationality. He invoked Garvey's name by suggesting that Garvey was to him as John the Baptist was to Christ. Unlike Garvey, however, he did not tell his followers to leave the United States or to found an independent state. When the Garvey movement ran into trouble in the mid-20s, Juali warned all Moors to cease from all the agitating and radical speeches and to leave the Europeans alone in order not to cause confusion. In effect, Juali's emigrationism was purely psychological. It was enough for American Negroes to identify with an Islamic African nation and adopt its religion, if only in name. Thereafter, they merely had to wait for the inevitable destruction of the white or European rule, which the sign from heaven would be a star within a crescent moon. Meanwhile, they would be loyal citizens of the United States and pledge allegiance to its flag. Juali was also something of a practical man for all of his dreamy appearance. One of his sidelines was a profitable business that sold Moorish healing oil, Moorish purifier bath compound, and Moorish herb tea for human ailments. Chicago became Juali's main stronghold. As Garveyism declined, Juali's movement grew large enough to be worth fighting over. And just so you know, Theodore Draper is European. And he knows what's up. The European is letting you know the rediscovery of black nationalism, it includes. But, and again, when have you heard a Moor tell you that line? In order to have a god, you gotta have. How does the European know all that stuff? The European knows all that. What Juali stuff does he have? Because if we look at that statement, In order to have a God, you have to have a nationality. Then who are these people following that don't have a nationality? What are they following? Clearly, it's not God they're following if they have no nationality. Think about it. All the people who claim that it's all right to be stateless, they're Black Panthers and they're Black Lightnings and they're Black Lands and Black all this other stuff. Yours open. Hold on, Mars. You know they're always selling something. So this is who these people are following. Because if they have no nationality, then they have no God. I don't care what they claim their nationality is. If it's not legitimate, whoever they say that they pray to, that ain't real. You name them. All the Kemetic people that don't have a nationality, all them Egyptian gods they say that they got that's looking after them, get the hell out of here. Ain't nobody looking after y'all. Y'all playing. Of course, the blacks, you know, already know they don't got no God. Just look at their conditions. Right? It's real simple. If our people would only think. But then they're not going to think because, you know, they don't know who Noble Jwali is. Who told them, think and save yourself? But they don't get it. Keep not getting it. Keep in mind, and people, for the late people, if you missed the beginning, for the late people, if you missed the beginning, LibertyNation.com is Being Black a Disability article. Just read that. A Fordham law professor has taken identity politics to a whole new level. Kimani Paul Emily recently penned a piece for the Georgetown Law Review that puts forth the idea that Blackness should be considered a disability under law. Paul Emile also points out, to be Black means facing increased likelihood relative to whites of living in poverty, attending failing schools, experiencing discrimination in housing, being denied a job interview, being stopped by the police, being killed during a routine police encounter, receiving inferior medical care, living in substandard conditions and in dangerous and or polluted environments, being un or under employed, receiving longer prison sentences, and having a lower life expectancy. These people aren't playing. You could keep playing if you want to play. But if you choose to remain stateless, you will be on your own. Victimhood is over. Can't play the victim anymore. Those days are over. Either you're handling your own affairs or these people are going to be dealing with you how they deal with the crazies. Because if you have no nationality, you have no God. If you have no God, what the hell are you, what's your purpose? So tell your friends who classify themselves as Negro, Black, colored, that these people are moving towards losing. Making sure that the sufferers, suffer. So we're just going to go through our emails. Let's see what's up in here. Now there's a few, so we'll go through as many as we can. Look up the article. If it wasn't America, the United States. If America wasn't America, the United States would be bombing it. Brother Joe sent that. Oh, see what's good. Is there any way possible that a class can be done on the fez? And so, is there such thing as a gender assignment concerning if mother can wear a fez or not? Now, some of the research I found that mothers do wear the fez and turban. An oil painting by William Merritt Chase titled "The Moroccan Girl of the 1800s, who is a Moabitess, has a fez on." Also, there is an ancient tribe of Moabitess women who were wearing fezes, and they are taking heads. Now, the reason for this request is because I was doing some surfing, ran across Heru Ranisi L stating that Moorish women can't wear the fez. And I grew up watching my great grandma wearing a fez all the time, and she was an Easter in the 60s. Now, in my mind, I'm like, that's incorrect, and he does not know that the fez is a representation of mother, and mother gave it to her sons. Anyhow, I digress. More Avengers up. So let's backtrack. Moroccan girl of the 1800s. We're in 19 something right now. Morocco girl, 1800s, she had a fez on. Can sisters wear a fez? No, they can't. Sorry. It belongs to men only. Sisters can't wear a fez. And then the Amazon warrior women who were wearing fezzes and taking heads with fezzes on. Sisters with fez? No. That's for men only. Forget that. Or your great-great-grandma or your great-grandma. She wore a white fez. She was Eastern Star in the 60s. Remember, this is 2018. 1960s, your grandma was wearing a fez. Moor Science Temple told her something back then? Did Moor Science Temple say something to the 1800s Moroccan girl with the fez on? And then remember, she's a Moroccan girl, but she was dark-skinned sister. Just go look up the picture. The Moroccan wasn't a pale person like you see in Morocco today. Just so we're clear as to who Moroccans are. Oil painting. Right? It's very obvious that to control mother has never died. Now, if mother gave son the fez, And then son's trying to tell mother she can't wear a fez. You know what we call that? When we were growing up? Clout in your mouth, boy. Shut your mouth. One slap. Make you stop talking that BS quick fast. But you're telling mother do something? How are you son telling mother? These guys and these people are out of order. That's how you know they're out of order. How are you telling mother something? Like okay, let me back up. In the islands, whether it's aunt, grandma, neighbor's mom, whatever, you don't talk BS. You don't talk BS about mother. You don't talk BS about mother. So as soon as these people start talking crazy about mother, that she can't wear a fez, which is a representation of her, you know these patriarchs are tripping. You know the patriarchs are on the high horse. And somebody need to break these horses' legs so we could look at these people in their face, because you know they're not getting off the horse. So you're going to have to break the horse legs. And Islam is big. That was just going to be my reply. Because I was actually born in Canaanland, which is America. But the accent is from the islands. I'll be all right, leave it. Trinidad and Tobago. But I'm really from Morocco, which is everything above Mexico, including the adjoining islands. Right? So sisters, don't be shy, wear your turban, you know what I mean? Sisters, don't be shy, wear your fez, don't let these Moors play you out of your stuff, telling you about you can't wear a fez. Right? No, what? Sisters can't wear pants. No way. Because men can't wear dresses. So sisters can't wear pants. Okay, if you really think so, we'll see how far your society is going to go trying to rule over women. Look where it got this society. Past the dark ages. You think they were in dark ages there? That's why the Moors are back, because we're in the dark ages right now. Everybody wants to be black. Everybody wants to be Negro colored. Wants to be a continent. Everybody wants to be their pedigree. Islam Moor, Ken Racimi Bay, near Arkansas, was watching the Tell Lies to Your Vision this morning, and on the local channel was this pastor giving his interpretation of the Biblios. I noticed instantly the pin on his lapel was the US banner and the Moroccan flag. The lighting on it, on the set, isn't that great, but on YouTube he is wearing it on almost every show that broadcasts nationally. Attached is a pic of the pin and a link to his YouTube page. Also attached is a flyer that so-called psychology guy Umar Johnson will be at one of the training institutions near Philander Smith College. Just a few things that are catching our attention as we awake and study Islam. The work is being done. to keep the people asleep. And then the pastor is or the YouTube video with the pastor wearing the Moroccan flag is JER, I guess it's Jeremiah, JER 49:17:57. 49 JER 49:17:57. The end times, nations, and the fall of confusion. And remember who the Moroccans are. Just keep in mind Moroccan girl. Look at the Moroccan girl picture. Just keep in mind who the Moroccans are. You know, you see this pale guy wearing stuff. Right? Don't get caught up. That's your birthright, not their birthright. That's your birthright. Okay. That's how you're supposed to So brother Navi Bay sent a this looks like, I guess it's a please return your completed birth certificate. Okay, so birth certificate form. So they're gonna ask you on there, what is mother and father's race? And then they got all type of stuff: white, black, African, American, Indian, Asian, Chinese, blah, blah, blah. Then they got other, check off other, put human. Is the mother or father Spanish, Hispanic, or Latino? Parent 1, parent 2. And then they put other, Spanish, Hispanic, Latino, and then they have Spaniard, Salvadoran, etc., whatever specified. They put more, then they put Federal Race Code 667. Because, you know, you're not Spanish, Hispanic, or Latino. You're more. So if Latino knows to put more on the paper because they're not Puerto Rican and not El Salvadorian and all that BS, then what is really wrong with our people? How come they're behind? How come they're back? Right? Now, once again, we have Moors taking their place amongst the affairs of men, so that men can know that we are competent enough to handle our own affairs. So, Brother Drew and his son Jeremiah been dealing with the whole school board stuff or whatever. And remember we were talking about in class that one time, and then they had the pink day and all that stuff, right? So sent the letter, like we tell Moors, forget about straw name and blah, blah, blah. You're a parent. So you have an obligation to make sure that you let these people know that once your child is in their custody, that they do things to the letter of the law. They ain't playing no games with my children. So Moore wrote his letter, right? We'll just go through some of this just so you can get an idea of, you know, why people are gonna hate on, you know, RV Bay and Cujo and all that stuff, because we're actually causing change out here with the information that we have. We're not just on YouTube. We just talk some BS on YouTube, or talk some BS at you know, Ustream, or, and it's only there. No, this is actually applicable in real life for as far as we're concerned. We're not just video making people. We're not put out a table and put some stuff on it and just sit there all day, hope somebody buys something, people. That's not what this is about, right? This is about taking your place. The affairs of men don't set no table and put stuff on the table. That's not what they do. They get a building. They get a store. They put a sign on it and say, this is our address and all that. They're not nomads, right? So the Moor, on behalf of his nation, recognizing that, you know, his son is in a compromised position being in these European schools, which are really, you know, residential schools, and their job is to make sure the indigenous people don't know about themselves, right? Yep. Let me see if you wanna. Right. So he took the position of, hey, well, you know, oh, Moor, I know Moors, and Moors suggested I write the school board. You know, why not? Makes sense. Why not? Why not just write the school board? So he wrote them. And he got a favorable reply. Matter of fact, his reply was so favorable that it got him that their reply was like that. Because remember, when we start being who we are, stop pretending that we're something that we're not that, right? You know, claiming that we're Moors, but we're really daddy's houseboys. It's about being what you know. Moor is being what he knows with regard to this situation. If you have a problem, you don't go in there like a Negro, arguing and yelling and doing the madness. You don't do that. What you do is you write them. Why? Because it proves your competence when you write them. Because they already know Negroes don't read. They already know people classified as Negro, black, colored people are just going to come in there and yell and complain, and then nothing's going to get done. They probably get police called on them, you know what I mean, for being dumb Negroes. So the brother tells them, maintaining the dignity of our ancestors who came on this land. This dignity results through the principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, which is divinely held and followed by our actions toward the upliftment of humanity. I intend that this letter is to be read in honest and purity of heart. I, who have begotten Jeremiah Rose, have made my existence at the school that Jeremiah is to function upon, and it has been brought to my attention that the month of February places Black History Month and also various associated topics, LBGT. These topics will express the journey of a people from Africa in which these people appear to be slaves and were transferred from one continent to another. My attention is not to diminish the stature of the historic peoples, but to simply divert to the fact that the child Jeremiah is not to have illusion of thoughts displayed onto his mind of the so-called black people, entailing that this child's nationality is not black. In the presentment of this letter, I aim to show that there was greed that has caused businesses manifesting the destiny damages that altered our culture of the Moorish nation. This proceeding is known as human trafficking by means of kidnapping and incarceration. These means are still in effect and have not changed due to there being no realization of divine truth. The truth of the matter is that criminal activity is not to be praised, but it seems as many might have their own interpretation because profits were gained and invested into modern institutions. The relation of Black people to a society can be petrifying due to the fact that Black is an adjective that is used and has been spelled upon a people. It is discussed that Black doesn't denote the nationality of the people, a term so-called Black, and the fact of the matter is Jeremiah is not Black. Neither Black, African, American, Canadian, Negro, a nationality. The definition of the word Black brings about negative things in a society by defining of the word. One can only trace so-called Black people's history to slavery or possibly the first experience of the Caucasian race encountering the copper-toned people of high standings. Jeremiah is a descendant from the indigenous people being of Moorish American nation, and the Moorish American nation is to raise him with the divine principles that is to be expressed to all humanity that he has been charged with. Through these principles being love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, which our national flag entails. These are recorded in history and can be found in the treaties of the Moors and is protected and recognized by the signatory powers that Canada has presented in signing the recognition of the aforementioned. And then he goes on just putting it on him. For somebody to say that this doesn't work, for somebody to put it out there that this doesn't work is complete fraud. Because this has nothing to do with working or not working. Nothing to do with working or not working. Try this and see what happens. This has to do with being in a particular mindset, being in a specific mind frame where you be what you know. And you're not going to be if you don't know. Like, you know how they say, fake it till you make it? You can't do that mentally. You can't fake that you know something. In the physical, you can fake all you want. But in the mind, you can't fake. Either you know or you don't know. If you don't know, shut the hell up and let the people who know talk. It's real simple. To the Moor for taking the steps to make sure his children are getting played with by these dads. You have adults giving them the pass. You have adult BS to their children. Right? Letting them do BS to their children. Why are they letting them do BS? Because they have no honor of their ancient foremothers and forefathers. They don't have any honor. And as soon as you take the position of being dishonorable, then that allows them to be able to be dishonorable. Because you're the founder. You're the founder of all that thing that's good, but you're also the founder of everything that's evil. So as soon as you give evil a pass, Asiatic, know that evil is on the way. Because you gave it a pass. You didn't nip it in the bud. Stuff that you didn't do when you were young, that you didn't do or whatever, when you get older, now you got children, bet you they go through the same BS that you went through just because you didn't deal with yours. Think, nah, I'm going to take this because I'm not going to let that happen to my children. Ha! Trust me, I work in a school. Trust me. And you keep letting these people play with your children's minds. Don't want to learn. Right? Sister Alicia Bay. This message is being sent in order to possibly find out more on XREL. Well, XREL is actually X relation. So when you speak about XREL, it's because either someone in propria persona or the Attorney General is speaking on behalf of the name on whatever the identification is that's written in all caps. Since that can't talk for itself, because it's not a real entity, there's X relation. So Cujo L is X relation to the straw name that's on the birth certificate they tried to put on Cujo L, or the license, or the social number, or the whatever corporate document. Anytime you're dealing with them, that's how you talk to them. Once you're national. If you're Negro, it doesn't even matter. You can say whatever name. Once you're national and you're dealing with those people who like to always go back to the birth certificate and go back to all these corporate documents, okay, no problem. Free national name, X relation, straw name. That's how you talk. What's your name? Free national name, X relation, straw name. No, I mean like, what's your name? Free national name, X relation, straw name. I don't understand. Then you go on your phone, pull up your law dictionary, bam, bam, X relation, give them the definition. They still don't understand, then they're playing you because they can't be that incompetent. They can't be that incompetent that you're going to go to law dictionary, show them what it means, and they still don't know what it means. If they're playing incompetent, then they're playing you. It's probably better that you go find someone else to contract with instead of these criminals who you're about to contract with, thinking that you should be contracting with them when you should not be contracting with them. Why are you contracting with them? You know, oh, because they threatened me or whatever. Okay, so under threat, duress, and coercion, free national name, X relation, straw man is how you address yourself or address them when you're talking about yourself. If they want to play, we don't recognize that card and all that stuff. You need a license. Okay, no problem. Here's a license. Free national name, X relation, that license. Oh, sign here? All right. Free national name, X relation, straw name. All rights reserved. Here you go. I can't sign like that. Why not? It's my signature. What do you mean I can't sign like that? How do you know? I just met you today at this office. How do you know what my stuff is put on the paper? I just met you today. I didn't know you 5 minutes. What do you mean I can't do that? Oh, you're violating rights. No problem. I'll find somebody else to go deal with. Because clearly you guys are criminals. And like I was telling a sister earlier, Moors need to stop overthinking stuff. Some things are just point blank, period. Doesn't need any decoding. You don't need to decode everything. Some stuff, it is what it is. Ex-relation, it is what it is. Somebody in propria persona or the Attorney General speaking on behalf of. Are you Attorney General? Oh no, you're in persona. All right. So you qualify to say ex-relation because you're in propria persona. Straw can't do that. Straw can't talk. Straw has to go get a lawyer. But we're not straw. We're Moorish Americans. We're Moors. We're Moor Americans. We're Moroccans. We're Moroccans. Whatever you want to call it. Is he talking about nationality? Ex-relation, that all capital letters name at all times. Right. However, it is being inquired of someone on the end of Canaanland Moors has performed in this manner. Any information on this subject will be graciously appreciated. Next, it is asked, where can it be found? A listing of Moors in various territories. So if you want a listing of Moors in various territories, you're going to come on this chat and ask Moors where they at. And then Moors will tell you. When you go on some beer-based chat, you might call out Moors. Hey, Moors, where are you at? And then Moors are going to put it in the stuff. You see somebody says your stuff, then connect with them. But make sure you better know what you're talking about, because like we said, dirty Moors out here who are, you know, daddy's house playboys. Right? They're trying to convince you that Cujo doesn't know what he's talking about and RV Bay is robbing you and all that type of stuff. RV Bay doesn't give free information. All they do is sell packages and all that. I mean, so be careful, because there are dirty Moors out here whose job is to keep you in confusion. That's their duty. Their whole position is to keep you in the state of confusion because they want you to be confused. Like, that's what they want. They want to make sure that the people themselves that are trying to find information are caught up in looking for information. Just like we said about why you overthinking. Like, what do you mean you're not gonna go with RV Bay Publications because you heard something? You heard somebody say something. But didn't you go to the site to fact check to see if let's see if this individual who said don't go there talking BS. Go on the site, go fact check. And just see. You know, you'll come to a conclusion. You have to. If you're a thinker, if your mind is a sponge, if you have calcified pineal gland, you know, don't even waste your time going over there. If you think you're black, Negro colored, and that's what you are, and you're not, don't even go over there, because you're going to be even more mad with them. Islam, Moor, you there?
Peace, Moor, I'm here.
Islam,
Moor.
you had anything immediately? Just going through these questions, you know. I don't know if you just got on and you've been watching.
Yeah, I was watching for a minute, but you know, me had to do my daddy thing. But yeah, I'm here, Moor.
Islam, Moor.
Islam.
Brother or Sister Navi. Sister Navi's 2 resource books. If you to archive.org, actually let me hit one of these and see what. Archive.org. America being the latest, the most accurate description of the world. Archive.org. America America being the latest and most accurate description of the New World, containing the original of the inhabitants and remarkable voyages thither, the conquest of the vast empires of Mexico and Peru, and other large provinces and territories, with several European plantations in those parts. Also their cities, fortresses, towns, temples, mountains, and rivers, their habits, customs, manners, and religions, their plants, beasts, birds, and serpents, with an appendix containing, besides several other considerable additions, a brief survey of what hath been discovered of the unknown Southland and the Arctic region. And that is 1600s by Ogilby John Ogilby, Ogilby, John, and Arnoldus Montanus. Arnold U.S. Montan U.S. Arnoldus Montanus and John Ogilby. Archive.org. All right. So just go through archive.org, search keywords, Morocco, Muhammad, Moors, you already know how it goes, Moors, and see what's good. And then there's the email for just entered the declaration for Yarma as nationality, and then also for Moors to check out list of slaves. List of slaves. They have a list of everybody who were slaves. Interesting. Right. Maroon people on Wikipedia, first line reads that the Maroons were getting away from slavery in America. And the question we ask is, thought we came from Africa. Shouldn't we be getting out of America? Like, why would you know over here is where slavery was going on and all that stuff, but then you stay here knowing that here is where they're enslaving people and doing all this stuff to people? And it never once clicked in your mind to think, hey, maybe we're already here. Especially since all the leaders have already put it on the record that we've been here. All the different authors have already put it on the record that we've been here. Right? All these people know that Marcus Garvey's a Maroon. They know that he's a Maroon. But they're talking about, he said go on some ship and go somewhere. The Black Star Liner wasn't for bringing anybody anywhere. Which people you know going on them little ships right there? What are you talking about? How much people you think is going on that Black Star Liner ship to go back to some Africa? For real? You can fit more grains of rice on that ship than people. I think those ships were for trade. I think those ships were for trade. I'm just saying. You know, those ships are probably for trade. They know Black Star bringing anybody back to any Africa. I did some research on Henry Proctor. Was of some concern that this is possibly the same Proctor he made mention of in the letter to Sultan Sidi Muhammad Abdullah. Henry Proctor had gotten to come see the Aboriginal killed for defending him and planning with the Britons. Do you have any facts of Captain Proctor? Nothing. Have Captain Proctor, and Proctors that come up have nothing to do with 1789 and all that. So, well, or 1779. So, one of the things too is that this arrangement between U.S and the Sultan is highly relative to the relationships or the relationship that so-called Negro, Black, colored people have with the people that they say is the United States government. Because if the people themselves stuck to the letter of the law, like what George Washington told the Sultan that, oh, we know that we're in your dominions. So if European knows that, then how come the Asiatics are pretending like they're not in their own stuff? If George Washington could write the Sultan and let the Sultan know, oh yeah, we didn't pay our taxes to you yet, then how did they get to the point where we're paying them taxes? Like where did the crossover happen where we started thinking that they have to be collectors of tax, not us? You know, don't worry about Proctor and all that. There's a lot of other stuff going on that we need to pay attention to. Because more than likely, the fact that he was a captain and he's talking about, you know, we thank you for the help with Captain Proctor and all that stuff, more than likely, he got kidnapped by the Barbaries. And we already know, once you get kidnapped by the Barbaries, it's slave trade for you. And Sultan obviously helped him to get out of the slave trade or whatever, help their boy, right? Help their boy. Right. Just because, you know, they got a treaty. So, you know, it's not like Sultan wasn't obligated to help. Was obligated. And you know those Moors were probably mad when they had to let Proctor go. Probably mad. Hey, Moore, you found any info on Captain Proctor in your research?
More. I'm right now. I'm looking up as we speak. More. Looking up right now as we speak. I just keep coming back to, I see the Sultan, the letter to the Sultan.
Yeah, that's the only thing. That's the only thing that keeps coming up, yo. This letter. Right. So, you know, again, goes back to that thing. It's obviously about more than Proctor. If when you look up Proctor, the letter keeps coming up.
Right.
Any research
something else came up. Something else came up. Proctor and Panther.
We definitely don't mean them. Right? No Proctor and Gamble. That's not. That's not
a lot of burying here, boy.
They've been. Oh man, they've been burying. No, they've been burying. Peace, Moore. When the land of Pangea separated, have you come across any book that speaks of survivors from the separating of the land of Pangea? Well, all we got is those maps that show the separation. And, you know, you could even look at, you know, we're the descendants of those survivors. Because I wouldn't want to be the people who were where the ocean was. When the stuff went down, you don't want to be the people where the ocean was. Like we say with the islands, all those islands are Atlantis mountain peaks. Because water is heavy. Water will sink land. Right? But recognize and know that whether we talk Pangea, whether we talk continents, we're talking about one landmass. Oh, one landmass. All the lands connected under the water, so it's one landmass. Still Pangea. And really and truly, like we were saying with, you know, not getting caught up in the persona, you know, the separation wasn't really the landmass. It was really the separation of the people. The people started looking at each other as they're not down with each other. Right? You know, which is what we're going through right now, the separating of the lands. People taking the position of, you know, not seeing the unifying factors, right? The ones who recognize the unifying factors, more than likely they're on here as far as our people. Right? We have ample amounts of people who say that they're Moors, that their school of thought is not what Moors deal with. Their school of thought is other stuff. But they know that they're Moors, they got nationality, which allows us to see them as, you know, our family, because they got nationality, which is where the unity comes in, which is where the not being separated comes in. Like we said, when we were, and you know, again, look from the outside in, right? When we look at, you know, before the debates, before the whole debating BS, right? There was unity. When these Moors were doing their classes at LIU and all that, right? When they were doing their lectures, teaching people, before there was debating, before there was this guy's wrong and that guy's wrong and you can't hear from that guy, everybody was learning together. Everybody was going to everybody to learn. What happened? What happened? The separation. People coming in with ulterior motives. People causing confusion. Like, trust me, I was there. I know that there was unity. It ain't like that anymore. And real unity now is amongst those who have nationalities. Like Brother Yusuf said, I'll go to the Arab store with nothing on. Those people don't even pay attention to me. They don't even care who I am. As soon as I go in there, garbed up, fezzes up, turban or whatever, oh, brother, and all that stuff. Now, why are they doing that? Well, they don't recognize because they do it sometimes when he dresses like a Moor, and then when he dresses black, they don't recognize. Yeah, because they don't recognize black. Because blacks are non-entities. Blacks have no power. Blacks are an illusion. Blacks are a hologram. What do they recognize a hologram for? And again, the Moor who's going through that, he's going there not for them to look at him and him feeling subordinate because they didn't recognize me. Guy. Matter of fact, Moor said he doesn't even change his clothes. He's not going there. And then go get the fez, go on there, see him different. You think they don't know? Which is what the point of him doing that social experiment for? So he can come out as a Moor and let our people know they don't respect black people. Trust me. I go in there as a culture, just dressed as whoever. And they don't even pay attention. But as soon as I go up in there with a turban, it's take whatever you want, go in the back, pick up whatever. God treat. When we say Moorish garb, right? What we should really say is Asiatic garb. Put it like that. Let's say Asiatic garb. Let's say Asiatic garb. Or Muslim garb. Islamic garb. And that's what we want. You know, so we would go to the Hindus, the Turks, the Saudi Arabians, the, you know, whoever. You know, we go in there, urban or whatever, and they deal with us proper. They deal with us proper, full outfit. You're not spending 100 notes, right? Because they're dealing with us like we should be dealt with. Because remember that everybody else knows that we're Moors. We're the ones that don't know. We're the ones talking about, oh yeah, you know, get honors and I wear a spiritual fez, so I'm going to get honors. No, you got to put the fez on to get honors. You have to be your foremothers and forefathers if you want the honors. You're not going to be modern guy. You can't be baseball hat guy all the time. You need to put on a turban or a fez sometime. Sorry. Yeah, baseball hats are cool. I got some, but sometimes it has to be fezzes up. And as soon as, you know, you start getting around people who, you know, are kind of with the fez and all that, you know, and they don't take a stand, any type of stand, they just toe the line with regard to information. They're not really giving up anything. You know, which, you know, if they don't got the fez on, they should be giving up everything. But they don't take that approach. Right? Always remember that our ancient foremothers and forefathers paid dues for us to be able to be here saying that we're Moors right now. Lost their life and all that. So it's a distinguished honor to say turban or fez. It's a distinguished honor to put on your own traditional. Oh yeah, let's go here. Let's go to Theodore Draper again. Page 132. The African, in the early 1960s, most of the Black nationalist movements active in the United States, mainly in Harlem, were still oriented toward Africa. In addition to the Nation of Islam, there was a rival Muslim group, the Muslim Brotherhood, which claimed to possess a monopoly of true Muslimism, whatever the hell that is. The United African Nationalist Movement had been founded in 1948 by James R. Lawson, a former official of the Harlem Labor Union. The Universal African Nationalist Movement, headed by Benjamin Gibbons, looked upon itself as the orthodox heir of Garvey's UNIA. The African Nationalist Pioneer Movement was another Garveyite splinter, a cultural association for women of Africa, a liberation committee for Africa, an on-guard committee for freedom, and a provisional committee for a free Africa also held forth. We must Africanize everything, proclaimed Priest Reverend Afontola Oserjeman Adefunmi, Yoruba Temple of New Oyo, New OYO, which was the new African name for Harlem. Last you heard them say that one. When's the last time you heard them say that one? New Oyo? His message suggested a shortcut to Africanization. Note to men, adopt the African look. Note to men, adopt the African look. Cut the brim off your hats. Remember, this is the Yoruba temple of Harlem, New Oyo. Remember, when you trace back the Yoruba, the high priests wear fezzes. And then his orders to the men is cut the brim off your hat and adopt the African look. Same thing Noble Drawley was doing, same thing Marcus Garvey was doing, bringing our people back into the mindset of the ancient foremothers and forefathers. But you could only be what you know. So yeah, it's cool to have a hat that says Moor on it. It makes the point, but it doesn't make a point like a fez. Trust that. And then when Moors experience what it is to put their fez on, when Moors experience what it is to put their fez on, now you know why these Moors tell sisters they can't wear it. Because only Moors with fezzes know what happens when you put your fez on. Only Moors who wear fezzes know what happens. Because something does happen. People could play whatever they want to play that this is. But any Moor that has acquired a fez, as soon as you open the box and you take off that white paper, something happens. And then something else happens when you put it on. Then something else happens when you look at yourself wearing it. Then something else happens when you go somewhere and then they start looking at you like you're God and all that. So something happens. And The reality is that it's only going to happen to those whose hearts are pure. It's only going to happen to those whose minds are right. That's why these dirty Moors try to escape the wrath by not wearing fezzes, talking BS about people. And then the ones that do wear the fez and talk BS, you know immediately. Just by their language, you know they're incompetent. Moorish Canadians, you have a Moor that said that they're Grand Sheik and all that stuff. They're talking about Moorish Canadians. But they would never say Moorish Brazilians or Moorish Mexicans. They would never say Moorish, but they'll say Moorish Canadians. And try to sell us back into slavery to the Queen. Remember, Moor saying that. Think Queen's not going to run with some Moors saying, oh, Moorish Canadians, oh, now they got jurisdiction. Because some Moors put in the jurisdiction. Cut the brim off your hat. You will look like you should. Imitation. Note to men, adopt the African look, cut the brim off your hats. You will look like you should and less like an imitation. You look less like an imitation. So the whole time they've been looking like an imitation. You think the world doesn't know that you're imposters trying to be something? Just like Wakanda is imposters, and that's really El Dorado in South America. And you're getting caught up in the illusion. You're getting caught up in the imitation. Giving the imitation 250 million in 4 days. But not down with it. One sec, Morris. Busy. So, no. These people playing. You can say, see if we hit how much of these questions. Sister Melinda, Islam, Canaanland. I've just now been awakened to the Moorish movement. I've heard recently that if we have not yet been nationalized, if you are just now getting into the movement, it's too late. But this doesn't matter to me. I will continue to learn and study to the end of time, especially now that I'm knowing my history in my corporate schools never made sense to me. I so have enjoyed all the videos, and I've heard Sabir's history book videos. It's time for me to get reading. I'm getting ready to order the first most critical books to order off RVBA Publications that Kudro mentioned the other week, the 5 books and the newsletter. I thought you would be interested in these 2 recordings below. I happened to listen to Economy Report called X22. I've listed the marked areas where they talk about Nicholas Cruz and a second shooting they do not talk of. Sons of Allah was a great call. I enjoy listening to all calls off MHHS. I thank Allah for you and what you do for us out here, Islam, Hermelinda Garcia. Now, just been awakened to the Moorish movement. Been enjoying the videos, ordering books off RVB Publications, 5 books in a newsletter, doing her own study, listening to Economy Report, X22, listening to Sons of Allah, MHHS. This is just one that had the courage to say thank you. This is just one. Who they thanking? They're thanking the Moors who look out for them mentally. The Moors who get their minds working again. Because not all Moors out there want your minds working. Because once your mind starts working, then you don't need them. Once you know how to make your own snapback original hat, you don't need them. Once you know how to make your own t-shirt, you don't need them. It's not about selling. It's about being original, having my own stuff. Nothing to do with selling. You think RVB is write books for themselves? Why would somebody write a book for somebody else not to find and read? You have somebody who is new to this information and they're going to the perfect place to get this info. RVB Publications and anybody affiliated. People who not affiliated with RVB, they're probably dirty Moors. More than likely, they got some package to sell you, or they got some product to sell you that when you go buy it, you're not going to get your product. And again, we're not talking about these illiterate people who can't write and then RVB, because RVB, you know, they always rep when you buy stuff from them. Always rep. You find bought something from them and they didn't get taken care of, especially if there was a problem with their order. Put it on the table again, 100 notes. And again, we were saying, all these people that email people and say RVB sucks and I didn't get my stuff, how come none of you punks call into the show? The show is every Tuesday. Show's been going on for years. Mad people call in when they got issues. And they say that they'll take their number and we'll call you after the show or tomorrow. And you never hear those people call back again. Wonder why? Because their problem got solved. Because it's just that simple. But people are cowards. Because they know they're full of BS. That's why they won't call into the show. Because they know they're full of BS. Like we put it out there. Powder Puff Bays. Call into the show. Just call into the show. Come on. Why are you making this hard on yourself? Call into the show and put it on the record that certain people touched you and stuff like that and you're mad. That you can't go at him because... Don't cry. Just like don't cry for your 25 bucks. Don't cry for RVB never got back to you. Don't cry for I didn't get in on the show. How about take some responsibility? Call in early. How about take some responsibility? If you keep sending emails and you keep getting an email reply, we're not available right now. We'll get back to you shortly. And nobody got back to you. Maybe it's time to call into the show. Stop being a punk. But you know why? You won't call into the show. Because you already know you call in the show, mother's going to rip your head off coming with some BS. And a lot of people are going to be up in their feelings. Then they're going to be mad. And they yelled at me. And why are they talking to me like that? Because we're Moors and all that stuff. Stop crying. Stop crying. No need to cry. Just take some responsibility. Take some responsibility. Right? Please take some responsibility. And again, like, Moors at Chicago made me a Grand Sheik. I gave you their name. They're on Facebook. Dawid Ali L. Kenyu Ube, aka Tyrone Bay. That's who made me Grand Sheik. Not RV Bay, not Washita, not Pleasant Bay, not Great Seal, none of them. Gave you the name. Go talk to Tyrone Bay and Dawid Ali L. They're the ones who made me Grand Sheik if you got a problem with it. Don't get mad at me because I'm a Grand Sheik. I didn't make myself Grand Sheik. Don't get mad. Don't get mad. You know, like I said, go be mad at Puffy because he touched you. Don't be mad at RV Bay. Yes, ball hat, but I seen Taj personally with a fez on. So what's your point? I've never seen you in a fez. Powder Puff Bay. Were you wearing your fez when Puffy touched you? Is that why you don't want to wear your fez? Because it brings back memories? Because Puffy kissed your neck? What did he do? Did he give you a massage? Like, how did it go down? Please let us know. Because I see you're having a hard time dealing with the trauma of being a daddy's house boy. I see you're having a problem dealing with the trauma. And then you're going to play around and you're going to come up in this chat thinking that these Moors on here are going to let you, man, stop the BS. And to talk about proclaiming the 4 times. Now, if you didn't fully understand, Canaanland is the meeting place, specifically Toronto, Canaanland. Look it up. Toronto means the meeting place. So know that we're the nucleus for a lot of stuff going on. We brought Bobby Hemmett here in 2005. Bobby Hemmett said that he came from the base chakra, Atlanta, to the pineal gland, Toronto. This is the pineal gland up here, surrounded by the Great Lakes and all of that. This is the pineal up here. This is the pineal. So you can recognize that we're about unity, which is why I didn't nationalize 4 times. How are you going to nationalize 4 times? But with any Moorish group, you must proclaim your nationality. I'm not proclaiming my nationality because I go and say, oh yeah, I'm down with those Moors over there, so I proclaim my nationality to them. Yeah. Islam, I'm Kudro El. That's proclaiming my nationality. But these people think proclaim nationality has to do with some institution giving you that. No, institution not giving you anything. They're reinforcing. Brother Bakari told it beautifully. The judicial proclamations is a brief of who you are. The papers didn't make you a Moor. Stupid, powder puff bait. Some papers made you a Moor. When you tell these people that they're incompetent because they keep overthinking, you're a dirty Moor. Just go in your hole and cover yourself. Put up your tombstone. And you know, stop mentioning the mother, stop talking about Taj, stop talking about anything relative to active Moors. But no, you don't want to do that. You want to come up in here, you want to come in this chat thinking that these Moors aren't going to take your head if you come in this chat. They think that, you know, we don't play, you know, how to play. We don't play how you guys play. We'll tell you guys go suck your mom and all that stuff. Dirty Moors. You think we go at dirty Moors because we don't know that they're dirty? We know, which is why we throw them under the bus, under the truck, under the car, under the boat, under anything we could throw them under, we throw them under. Anything we could shoot at them. Darts, bow and arrow, 22, 45, Glock, whatever. Because we don't respect dirties. Dirties. A majority of dirties just end up crawling in their hole. Oh, you got 3.5K views. How many of those people bought your hats? And then I thought you said that you weren't about views. Now you're about views? I thought you weren't about views. I thought you weren't trying to be popular. I thought views didn't matter. But now, oh, you got somebody. You're a hypocrite. You're a hypocrite. Playing yourself. And again, you're going to talk your BS. Oh, this is over. But I know you got another video coming. Because I already saw the video that you made today. So I know you're mad. But don't get mad at me. Get mad at Puffy. He's the one that touched you. Don't get mad at Cujo. Cujo didn't touch you. Puffy touched you. Puffy, that is the one that sent you to go buy cheesecake half across the town, and you went like a clown. Don't get mad. There's a lot more.
Peace, more. It's just, man, it's just silliness, man. I'm glad you touched on that 4-time proclamation, because that shit is so asinine, man.
Yeah,
dumb,
people think they're smart.
Dirty.
They think they're smart. They think they're so smart. They're stupid.
Exactly, more exactly.
You know, and again, exactly. These people think it's just like the people, you know, 2010, before we were even on RV Bay Publications, before we were on RV Bay Publications, right? People trying to tell us they're dirty. Like, I'm talking about people who we thought they were down. What are they trying to do? They're trying to backdoor. This in RV Bay, this in Taj, but, you know, yeah, honors to you guys, because, you know, you might open, but you shouldn't go to them because whatever. But we're still with them. And ain't nobody attending, ain't no funeral with Cujo, because man is spirit, not the friend. You know what I mean? My books, CDs, classes, you know what I mean? Energy that I shared with brothers and sisters out of love, that'll last longer than this body. And if you really think, if you really think that you putting emojis on YouTube laughing is saying something about your intelligence, you're wrong. Everybody in the chat knows you're a clown. Everybody knows that you're a puff. How come you're not with Bad Boy anymore anyways? Did you leave them or did they leave you?
Because he thought because he thought that everything he was going to produce was going to hit.
Oh, he thought
it hit rock.
Oh, it hit rock bottom, didn't it? Now you got to sell hats like a copycat. Everybody out there got. You couldn't come up with nothing better to sell, my dude. The most brilliant thing you can decide to do is sell some hats. Oh, and because the whole house of hats, you think you made it? You made it. You ain't nobody. Oh, because Red bought your hat, you think you're cool? Oh, Black Dot bought your hat, so you think you're cool. You're not cool. If you were cool, they would have bought more than one hat. How about that?
You tried selling some ass to Puffy, and that didn't even work out.
Right? You didn't even, you know, you're mad. Don't get mad because Puffy touched you. Don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at RV Bay. Go deal with the pedophile that touched you, whether it was your dad or whoever. Don't get mad at me for your stuff that you don't know how to deal with. Please, don't get mad at me.
How does a grown man say daddy's house though? That's crazy.
Like a grown man, and he's saying it proud too. You know what I mean? Saying it proud. Yeah, I hit you up to buy hats. I know that. That's before I knew you were Dirty Moor.
Right.
I thought you were an actual legit Moor because you weren't talking BS about RV Bay Publications when I asked you about buying your hats. And you would have known that I repped RV Bay Publications back then. How come you weren't talking BS when I came to you to buy the hats? And how come you ain't never linked me back about getting the hats? Oh, because I'm whack. You didn't want to sell me hats, right? No, maybe because you didn't have any stock. Right? Maybe because you were trying to make a name for yourself. You didn't have your connection yet to get your hats. But it's real interesting that when I came to ask you about the hats, you never once mentioned RV Bay or 25 bucks or they're dirty or nothing like that. Nothing? You were mute the whole time? Well, we already know. Like we said, you know, do your thing. Make your little videos, do your little slander campaign, you know what I mean? Do your thing. Because regardless of what it is that you do, we're going to be repping RV Bay every day, all day. We're going to be repping MHHS every day, all day. We're going to be repping Great Seal. We're going to be repping for all active Moors, and they're not powder puff bays like you. We're going to be repping for all the individuals who know about their nationality and birthrights, right? Who nationality and birthrights. And again, why would I rob myself buying your hats at the crazy price you're selling them at? That's the reason why I didn't pay your wholesale price, because your prices are nuts. I can go to the Chinese guys and get hats for $3 with embroidery. What the hell am I coming to you pay $25 for a hat for? I look stupid like these other people who bought your hats?
Wow.
Oh, you think I'm stupid to pay you $25 for a hat that costs $3 to make? I'm not these dumb Negroes out here. I'm not these dumb Negroes out here. But it's 9/12. Islam to all the Moors. Peace and love to all Moors. And like I said again, since you're on here, Fudge Pat Bay.
Oh, you on there? He's on there?
Apparently it's him. Some different name. You know, no name Bay, but he got like 5. How you no name Bay, but you got all these different names. But don't forget, Don't be mad. Call into the show with your $25 you owe. 347-945-5899. 347-945-5899. Call in right now. Not now, because you're not going to get through now. 9:15, make sure you call in. Press 1. You don't even have to listen. Just press 1, put the phone down, and check it once in a while just to see until we're taking questions. When we start taking questions for your number to get called, and say whatever you got to say to the mothers themselves. Great Seal is going to be on the call. But you're probably not going to do that because you're a powder puff bae. Islam Brother Supreme, you got any closing?
Yeah, I'm waiting to do my thing, but he's a coward, man. He's not going to call me. And if he do, he's going to be hush-lipped and not even talk about no 25 notes. He's a coward.
Of course. Of course he's not going to call in. Of course. We already know. Right?
Yeah, he's done. Like you say, put the dirt over him and put a tombstone on top of him.
Put a tombstone on that Negro, and that's that. That's just what it is.
Your life dirty is more of them all.
I don't know if he's the dirtiest, but he's pretty dirty.
When he goes against the mothers, he's pretty dirty.
Yeah, they're dirty. But you know we gotta set the Moors up.
Yeah, I just want to say I got love for all my Moors, all the ones in the chat. I love you, Moors, and hey, do your thing.
There's a lot more.
Rep all day. All day we rep through our league.
Hold on before you do that. So don't forget Moors. Get your thing going on. And we'll just ride us out with some music for the next 15 minutes. But you got your little stuff there, because we got another one to add to the list. So just add them up. Let's bury him for the last time. Let's play his funeral music right now.
You ready? Whatever you do, I'm ready, Moor.
Oh yeah, Moor. I'm ready.
Roll me wrong. No name they. Tahad Pig Pen L. Cowards.
Hey yo, this is straight up for all them niggas out there who fronted on some bullshit in the beginning. Fuck that. I ain't shit. I ain't shit.
Hey, I'm about to call him myself.
On the real, all is every more. On the real, all is every more. On the real, all is every more. Know the deal. When we start the revolution, all the profit goes to real. On the real, all is every more. Know the deal. When we start the revolution, all the profit goes to real. On the real, all is every more. Know the deal. When the truth gets revealed, all the profit goes to real. On the real, all is every more. Know the deal. On the real, on the real. I'm not uplift the fallen humans from the ashes. The spiritual rise that live on after its clashes. Presence and headbacks, costume bar sashes. Atlantis on Pangea was us ruling the Alice. On my day, some I love break. True diamonds reincarnate, some self-proclaimed. Taking the lessons from Quran questions. Bible as my rolling pine, holy book circle 7. Another Marcus Garvey coming in the whirlwind. Moorish royal muftis in the black turban. Pioneer exposed as the triple crown glows. Every Negus has the Negus as a throne. Shot with no bulge, I'm still armed, start the robberies. Master arts martial, and they marshal the law. Peace offers of authority, fracture your jaw, clapping at jaw, bachelor parties. Not knowing whether it's controlled by HAARP. Stopping the tapping of UH frequency, sent to the higher self from Sirius B, or maybe Sirius A. The reverse is serious internet radio play. Like Square Shreddy, are now dominant new leading. They charge a bill 50 for a shoe, it takes $5 to make. They lose the bins, same goes for cars, construction things, so clean, no stuff. Revolution chumps, reclining in the armchair.
chair, speechless like monks on the real. All these dirty Moors know the deal on the real. All these dirty Moors know the deal. All these dirty Moors know the deal. When we start the revolution on the power, yo, Sunny Falcon, niggas like the swagger. Copper sporty jagger. Beef and fuck a gun. I'm shooting razor. Sunny Falcon, niggas like the swagger. Beef and fuck a gun. I'm shooting raised gamma. Allergic to banana, not the crystal or the hammer. Fuck that cave bitch cracker. King Asiatic, no ego to the master. MC not a rapper, cosmic DJ and dancer. Feels optimistic, never of the outcome. Feds are never outrun, cause I didn't have to. Spit without the action. My tempo holds the thoughts of Chief Sharif Abdul. My body is the capsule, extra terror astral. Coming like the normal, straight back to level. I'm running out the homo. Not against the person, just against the culture. Situations worse than when we swarming like a vulture. Not just revenge, I'm here to avenge. Some transform, but I'm here to transcend. Wake you out your sleep, the shepherd of the sheep. Living on the base chakra, booming in your jeep. You're going back to Cali, never heard of Lakshmi. I'm the black one who's the consort of Cali. Not Yoga Yuga, freeze you with the Moor. Return of Moor, killed by a troop. Was built to the pay a horse on cell stalking moss. Radiate your corpse. There's worms and forks staying in your forks, but they judging me in forks and swearing on the book. And when I swear I'm home, I'm getting dirty looks. I'm innocent. I'm leaving. Heathens brains leaving. Not from the wrong when I'm strong and teaching. Facts get you beating. You can say a haze and don't think that I'm here to train it, but I'm pussy in Jamaican. Sun Falcon L, Sun Falcon L, Sun Falcon L, Sun Falcon L, walking out of hell. Some think rebel, well now I mean rebel. Shoot up the closet, got them hiding in the cupboard. When they come with thoughts and call me Negro or colored, but sometimes black, that's an adjective at that. It fits your emotional nerves to make you react. Rose gets a bark, but a rose from Mike Myers, who's alive and works for television. Liars, satellite on neck. I'm not looking for love, man. I'm demanding respect. You're slamming on your gavel, then I'm standing on my square. Astro projecting in the realm of real clear. All is so plain, I saw the prophet there. Don't talk the lesser, that's what get the guests there. Dealing with one-on-one questions for man. Muslim, not Muslims, praying on my hands. Praises for Allah, praises to Jah, praises to all of Kuna Batala, praises to Ra, God, my Ra, and my God. Black think that the Masons when we are the sons of Ma. Yeah. You need to wake up. You need to wake up. You need to wake up. Around the fifth, you need to wake up. Still get it from the intellect reservoir, cosmic surfing. These two sons of God didn't come from virgins. Ether makes up these gods. We roll light angles to the earth plane against different names. Monads, been missing two labs. Thought you killed me when Jordan Marcus got toe tag. That's why I'm here with the Grand Chairman of Fear. Truth make you think critical like severe. Doing the God things, I make ancients appear, and all I'm hearing is knocking while I'm watching the seer. Ancient rituals and sound here, notes through Pro Tools. Eye-to-eye transfer of knowledge, you need no schools. Waking up the masses, music is class and stage. Most fail cause they look like the flying shades. Following demons possess Kanye's and Lil Wayne's. Expecting to hit you with a cross and a Greek name. In the melanin cause me being no cheese. Origina's in me, I'm not what you don't see. I'm not one of those armchair revolutionaries. Allah's in me. Sick and tired of being sick and tired, but that's just where we get our friends, man. Christ is in me. I'm not a hustler, pimp, gangster, gangster, but trust me, they all in me. I got it when the moon shifted the doom in the melon. Womb, sipping milk in the honeydew and triple black boom. Touchdown, traveling on planet Earth where we crush clowns. While I'm managing this curse and preparing the elixir.
that turns copycats into these poor pussies pretending to be misters. I cannot sin, but I can be very sinister. My limitations are limited as I do a lap around the galaxy. Had to gather light and rally back and fuck the fallacy. And cause of that, I got labeled the antagonist. And it didn't help that I cuss and burn cannabis and burn candles and wear symbols of Orisha. And I put a hex on the heads of 7 preachers with one prayer spit aimed at the pulpit. Plus the crucifix, a whole tabernacle backflip. I'm not Catholic, but if I choose my bare resonance, you may just catch a glimpse of Lucifer's semblance. Up and down Jacob's ladder with my melanin, the vessel of no fear none. You can find the devil in.
Alright, so that's polarization.
So it has right here in the dictionary, Black Moor. And it has the part of speech right under it. Next to it says noun. And it says a black person, man or woman, Negro. Then it has in italics, black in small case, plus then it got Moor capitalized. There's an identity right there in the dictionary. It was never really hidden. You tell these people they're Moors, they say, what religion is that? They are so asleep, the sorcerers, and we're battling sorcerers. Of course, if we come out talking that way from the door, you think we're out to lunch. You understand? People, it's sort of like our arrogance, our poisonous and toxic self-righteousness has cursed us for quite a few generations. We got to fix it.
Let them know. Islam. Let them know. Let them know. Moorish MC order, I'm a round table sheets, 7 days in a circle and 52 weeks. Dirty Moors copycat and bite the prophet speech. I'm Ellis out taking a Hajj like Malik, in a group of solo like Raphael Sadiq, walking over rappers like stepping over a creek, exposing these dappers, dressing like Greeks, showing off cheeks, somewhere with little freaks, suck like a leech. I'm the nerdy kid sand on at the beach, verbally your face I stand on, I'm back to teach, learn a lesson as the piano soothes your mood. Lyrical weed, deep brain food, your turn God, applying what I speak, the truth, they burn, and lie through their teeth, denationalized, jack for all your supplies, and knowledge from the high priest on the mental highs, bringing you light, giving you sight, close your eyes to pray, get shackled at night, now they're giving you trite, tales of ox, feed of pigs and soup, you've been bamboozled, tricked, had and duped, won't fight your own fight, but you join their troops, killing others around the world just to stay out the news, won't fight your own fight, but you join their troops, killers around the world just to stay out the news. Let them know. Use the mic to let them know. Let them know. What up, brother Hanif? Use the mic to let them know. This is like Jurassic. They got your birthright. They call you black and your name's L and they calling you Mike. Earth shadow is the darkness, they calling it no more rights. I call gays and dykes. False education appears real, they calling it fright. She on this beat, you're calling it tight. Effects from the roach blunt, calling it heights. With a razor blade on my line, I'm cutting your kites. Rapping blood clot dummies, worry about scuffing the nights. Feminized in tight shirt, showing muscles and ice. Deals, got them acting like 3 line mice. Rhyming for nursery, laying play for Andrew Dice. I'm pro, you're Joe, the beat is fight. Can't take my flow, you hope I ease it right. I keep it coming like food and aki, peas and rice. No coleslaw, tonic roots, please, no strike. 5 cents for a bag, yo, I don't need it, alright. 65, 35, fam, no need to fight. Studio time, pay with knowledge, time to leave the mic. Let them know.
You know. Let them know. Use the mic to let them know. The truth about nationality and birthright. Let them know.
Ready for the get beyond Babylon with my shit. Give them what they want so they want come stash it. Ready for tech buck quit things unlock shit. Unified, it's the camp nationality your stamp. When we dealing with the land, we talk attaching this man. So who the white man? Who the black man? When the law was written by the brown hand. Inspiration from a universal realm to the sort of realness and take the film. Keeping world under lock and key. Yo, cameras everywhere watching me. Check it. Claim a right to be who I am. Public notice from seas to the land. Who's ready to stand? I am in your persona. To hell with the fiat and the fake money launderers. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. It's time for the people to wake who injustices under contract. Mind for combat. Natural law, enemies got to fall back. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. It's time for the people to wake who injustices under contract. Mind for combat. Natural law, enemies got to fall back.
Use the mic to let them know. Let them know. Operation Rapper Inquisition, moving through the fakeness, hip-hop matrix vision. Back again, in these bars, this is my prison. Walls on these pages with pen shanks I'm scribbling. No visits, lines of paper, conflict war. As my showers and my washroom stalls. End of the page is when I make parole. Force me to execute rappers, then throw me in the hole. So much show, the MC not confined. The elements of hip hop today are not combined. Almost seeing the other side, gotta stay focused. Just gotta let that phone ring and don't lose focus. They can't try to hocus pocus. Send rapping jokers with handbags, Gucci purses and chokers. G's restless spandex type, turning used to robots. If you drink a Sprite, that's not what I say. That's what they do. Use rappers to sell you sneakers and Mountain Dew. Flowing like a fountain dew. When you turn the lever, set the bar for conscious MCs and rapping believers. Strapped to me in these bars, rappers begging for seizures. It's hanging rappers with the strongest lines from like leeches. Sentence to the underground, no one hears your screams. Left right for the map for these black and yellow dreams. What happened to the MCs? Ask yourself. What happened to the DJ? Ask yourself. What happened to the rapper? Ask yourself. What happened to the dancer? Ask yourself the question. Ask yourself the question. Ask yourself the question. Ask yourself the question. Ask